Hey you guys, what is up? Welcome back to the Real Tea podcast with Monica and Liz.
Hey. And today we have a special guest. This is Tito, Executive Director of Local Hearts Foundation, aka Hood Santa.
Hood Santa. What's happening, ladies?
How are you?
Thanks for having me on. How you ladies doing?
Good. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
excited.
when Monica called me, I said, of course. Monica and the singers, they do a lot for the foundation that we run, Local Hearts Foundation. Anything that we do, they've been supporting now like 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while, right?
Yeah.
I met her husband, Lester, and at Chiva Loca or some restaurant in Downey.
Really?
Yeah, and we hit it off. And then the following day, a couple of days, it was funny because he was, come pick up a check. And I was just kind of like,
okay.
And then he said, dude, do you want to come pick up a check or not?
Yeah,
I was
that's how
like,
he is.
all right, I'm on my way, And so, yeah, ever since then, we've been a family now. So thanks. And super pumped and proud of what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
With the
Thank
realty
you.
stuff. And now you got
thank you.
this podcast you're doing.
Yeah.
And thanks for letting me be a guest.
Yeah, no, of course, Tito. So we definitely wanted to bring you on because you are our favorite foundation that
Thank you.
we love to partner up with, and more than anything, you're someone that we trust, right?
Thank you.
Because oftentimes, like when you donate to things, like you don't really know. Where
Right.
it's going.
Right.
Like you don't see the results. You just have to kind of like, even unfortunately, even for like these big like hospitals and stuff like that, it's kind of like, well, where's the money going?
Right,
Like,
right.
And we love partnering up with you because you're like hands-on. You're like, oh my gosh, look.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's something that we take to heart. It's like, okay, if you guys give us money, we want to make sure it goes out.
Yeah.
And also, we've been on the other side. I've been the kid that needs stuff, right?
Yeah.
And you're right. I've never, ever witnessed any of these bigger nonprofits out in the hood,
Right.
in the communities that need it. So we want to be the boots on the ground, right?
Yes.
If we say, hey, we're going to donate, we got a basket event coming up April 8th, right, for Easter. It's called Baskets and Pancakes. And if you guys say, hey, we're going to donate, right, we want to make sure that we take your money.
Yeah.
And use it to go do what we said we're going to do.
Right.
And secondly, if you ever want to find out what anybody gets paid on a nonprofit, it's public information, okay?
Oh.
So if you
I
want
know
to
that.
see what the Hood Santa makes, which is zero, okay? Just so people know, okay? Like people that donate to foundations, it's public information. You can go on and say, hey, what does the chair of Make-A-Wish make? And he might make $3-4 million a year. You don't know. Just an example. I don't know. I'm just saying numbers, right? Yeah. And then you can say, well, let's go see my favorite foundation, Local Hearts Foundation, and the director, what is he making? And you're gonna see that we take home zero, okay?
Oh, wow.
Because we want to take that money and change lives. We want to take that money and be able to provide clothing, shoes, educational materials, backpacks, toys, the things that we do, things that we know are needed, right? So that's the difference in what we're doing is we want to make that impact, not only just make an impact, but be boots on the ground,
Right.
and hopefully inspire more people like yourself, right? And you guys to say, hey, we like what this nonprofit's doing. We like what what they're doing with the monetary donations that are coming in.
Yeah.
Let's support them, and we can do more, right?
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of what we get to do is that we're taking people's donations in, and it's going out.
Yeah.
We're taking people's donations in, and it's going out. And I'll share a story. So Diamond Supply is a big supporter of Local Hearts Foundation. Nick Diamond is a friend of mine. And so when we first connected, I said, hey, Nick, I want to go out. I want to give out kids, some stuff. He's like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, dude, I don't even know. I just,
Give
I
them
just
something.
remember me being poor and not having anything and thinking, man, I never had new clothes. I never had anything new. Like, there's still a lot of kids like that, right?
Yeah.
So I reached out to him, and he gave us a bunch of stuff, okay? Thousands of socks, thousands of sweaters, and we drove around Long Beach and gave it out. Okay, but what I'm getting at is once I started giving it all out, and then say we had 50 boxes, when I got to about the last 3, I got a little scared. And I was like, well, I only got 3 left. Like, if I give these out, I'm not going to have nothing to give. And then I felt God tell me this. I gave you that so you can give it away. That means I'm going to give you more, so give it away. And as soon as I listened to that, things started coming from everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. Nick called me back. Hey, dude, I got 22,000 pair of shoes I want to give you. I'm like, dude, where am I going to put that at? No, I can't take that, Like, hey, we got, 10,000 hats. We got backpacks. And it was that. It was like we built it on, one, being trustworthy and making sure that people know that we're doing the right thing, because we always want to do the right thing. And what I'm getting at is, even when you think people that are sneaky, it's gonna come out to light. Eventually, right?
Yeah.
We seen what was the big nonprofit? It was like a military one. I think Wounded Warrior Project.
Okay.
You guys ever heard of that?
I have.
Is that the one that had the big posters all over the freeway? Well,
I don't remember.
they got looked into, and they had made over 400 million or something like that in donations, and they only had put out 3% of what was donated to them. Don't quote me on the numbers, but it's something ridiculous like that. And they were exposed.
Yeah.
So what happens is now they get their nonprofit taken, and a new board steps in and all that. So yeah, so
and
you
it's
know,
hard for people to trust them again, though. Even if there's a new board, because you're kind of like, well, it already happened,
right?
So
What's gonna change?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
Hey, but I can feel your passion through just talking to you right here, and I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
I want to know, where did your passion come from, though? Like, what's your background?
Okay, yeah.
Where'd
so,
you grow up? Where'd you grow up? And how did, why are you so passionate about this?
Okay, yeah. So when I was 6 years old, I'm born and raised in Long Beach. When I was 6 years old, my dad killed himself in front of us, right, on Christmas. He got a knife and he stabbed himself in the heart. Okay, and we grew up extremely poor. My mom was a vendor, swap meet vendor, street vendor, door knocker. So we grew up extremely poor, and I was only 6. So I had nothing. My older brother was 8, 9 years older than me, so it wasn't like I had his hand-me-downs. I had one Lacoste shirt with the fake tiger or whatever, and I would have to wear that every day till my mom washed it or whatever. So that passion comes from that, right, is not having anything and remembering. So later on, down the line, I started making music. I started to produce. I started kind of traveling. I made a whole bunch of new friends. I seen how other cultures get along, how they coexist, and how in the hood we don't do that. Everything is a fist fight. Everything is and I started seeing that other communities share with each other, and hey, what's going on? Hey, let's give a little bit. So I said, man, how do I do that in my community?
Yeah.
So I started reaching out to my friends, like I mentioned, Nick Diamond, other companies. There's tons now. I can't remember all of them off top, but Nick was the first one that was like, I'm down. So I started reaching out, and I started saying, hey, man, again, I grew up poor. I didn't have nothing, and he did too. So it was like, dude, I'm down. What do we do? So we created this nonprofit with my buddy HJ, and one day he gave me a bunch of stuff, and we started driving through the neighborhoods, and we jumped out on a little black kid pushing his daughter in a stroller, and he starts running for his life, right? Now that I think about it, it was 4 carloads of Mexicans, you know what I mean? He's probably like, oh my gosh, these guys are going to do something to me. And he had his baby. So I jump out, I'm like, hey bro, slow down. We got Diamond, and this was 13 years ago. Diamond was huge. 13 years ago, Diamond was the biggest skateboarding brand in the world, right?
For
it was
sure.
Huge. So he stops, he's like, you guys got Diamond? So I pull out a sweater, I'm like, look. So he comes back and he's like, yo bro, I thought you guys were going to kill me.
Aww.
I thought you guys were going to kill me. So as we get done, I jump in the car, and HJ says, Tito, you should buy a suit, bro, because what if you jump out on the wrong person and they blow your head off?
Oh, shoot.
Right?
Yeah.
So I said, you're right. So I got in the car. He's driving. I get on eBay. I buy a Santa suit, a $12 Santa suit. Yeah, the cheapest Santa suit was $12. It was like
She's all thinking like a suit.
Did.
No.
Oh, you found it on eBay?
Yeah,
That's
it was
pretty
a
interesting.
cotton ball, right? Like a paper mache one. And then I hit up Nick. I said, Nick, I'm going to go back out. Dude, that was rad what we did. Let's help some kids. Come to the warehouse this time. Now he had tripled what he gave me.
Oh,
So we had so much stuff.
I'm just picturing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's all good. So we show up to 17th and 1 Apparel. It's, wherever there's apartments, we know that's low-income families, right? Under-resourced families. And I get out of the car. I put the pants on. The pants rip.
Oh.
So now I just got this jacket, paper mache jacket.
It was paper mache?
Pretty much. I'll show it to you. And the cotton ball beard, right? So I'm like, whatever. I'm wearing jeans and the jacket. And then we pull over, and a little kid sees me from the second story. And he's like, yo, stop. He's yelling for me to stop, and he's knocking on all his buddies' doors, da, 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 da. So then he comes down. He's like so super hyped, super pumped. He comes right up to me and he taps me on the chest. He's like, hey, you're the hood Santa, because Santa doesn't come over here.
Oh, that's where that came from then.
No way. So he named you.
He baptized me, yep. And then right then and there, I was like, yo, there's a lot of kids still like me that didn't have nothing, Never had nothing for Christmas or, I didn't have Thanksgiving until I was a teenager.
Oh, my gosh.
My aunt married a white bus driver named Brian Hunt. And I remember going to their house. We got together. I was like maybe 12, 13 or something. Going to their house, walking in and seeing all this food. And I'm like, what is going on? What is this big chicken? It was a turkey, But, we were poor. We were extremely poor. And my mom had to pick, obviously, do I pay the rent or do I buy a chicken or a turkey, right? And, she's going to pay the bills and pay the rent. And my mom is a hustler, too. So it's not that she didn't have money or nothing like that. She was probably thinking, okay, I got bills and I got 7 kids. What am I going to do?
There's 7 of you guys.
Yeah, I was the baby, and then my mom got remarried. I had 5 kids at the time, right? So, yeah,
From her
that's
first marriage, there's 5 of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then my dad, when he committed suicide, I was the baby, and then my mom later on got remarried, yeah.
Were you angry?
You know what? No, I don't think, no. No, I think I was so young that it didn't affect me like that, I don't think. But, I've had conversations with my brother. My brother tells me, bro, of course it affected you.
Did you get affected you when you had kids?
In what sense?
Like I could never do this to my kids.
Yes.
Like, how could someone do this to me? Because I get a lot of that with my kids now where I'm like, how could my parents ever have done this or that? And I'm like, dude, I could never do this to my kids.
Yeah, of course, because, like I said, my brother always, we have talks. He's older than me. My brother became like my father figure. When I got in trouble, he was the one that put me in check. My brother gave me my first car and my first beating, both in the name of love, is the way I put it, right? So, he always he would tell me, like, bro, of course it affected you. Yeah. You play football, you were the best. Imagine if you had a dad. When you skateboarded, you were the best. Imagine if you had a dad.
Yeah.
Well, somebody pushing you. So that always stuck with me, and that's what I did for my kids. It's like I was there for my kids, no matter what. If I was in the studio all night, got home at 7 o'clock in the morning, I still went with them to their football practice and coached. Still went to their baseball practice and coached. I was hands-on, because I didn't have that.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show them that, every kid is like one adult away from being great, right? So I wanted to put that in their head to do whatever they want.
Just so you know, I'm a big Tito now, okay? So
yeah, and I would tell my daughter that. We put her on the soccer field. My daughter was an amazing soccer player.
Yeah.
And one time she gave me a note for my birthday, okay? And it said, Dad, I love you so much. You believe in me even when I don't. But by you believing me makes me believe that I'm okay. And I was like, that stuck with me forever, It's going to stick with me forever. Yeah. And it was her kicking a ball about soccer, Because I'm out there cheering her on, and doing what, what a dad is supposed to do, right? Encourage their children, right?
Yeah.
So that's I would say that has something to do with it, because I didn't have that.
Yeah, yeah.
And my mom was working all day. My mom was the first person to put Nikes in the swap meet in the 70s. Wow. Yeah, so I don't know how my mom didn't become a millionaire, but we were in the hood, and she had to deal with what happened with my dad, so I'm sure it was tough for her.
Sure her
and
life
now that I'm
was
adult, I could understand all that,
Yes.
But my life's been a blessing. It's been good. I'm not gonna complain.
Talk a little bit about the music side. How did you get into that?
Yeah, so I was a break dancer when I was a little kid in Long Beach, and I was one of the better break dancers in Long Beach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was. My brother went to a club because he was older than me, and he saw they would be 20, 19. 21 breakdancing. So he came home and said, "Hey, bro, I saw these guys spinning on their head, on their back. I'm gonna teach you how to do it." So I was like his little science project, It's like spin on your head, And but thank God for my brother, because he molded me to be like the man I am today, So yeah, I was.
How much older is he?
He's 9, maybe 8 years older than me. 8, 9 years older than me.
You guys do have a good gap.
Yeah, and he made sure that if I did something wrong, that I was held accountable.
Are you guys still close?
Yeah, I love my brother.
Oh,
yeah, my
good.
brother sits on the board of our foundation. My brother
awesome.
he runs the logistics of like the events.
Oh.
Yes.
So he has a passion for it too.
Yeah. My brother is a good man. My brother told me as a kid, we don't steal, we don't cheat, and we don't lie.
Yeah.
And we definitely don't hang out on the corner, he told me. Only losers do that.
Good.
He caught me on the corner, and he beat me. So he beat me. So all my friends knew we hung out on the corner, 14th and Molino. They'd be like, "Hey, we see your brother's truck," and I would hit the floor like Marine style, crawl out. Yeah, and then I would run home, and he'd be like, "Were you on the corner?" I'd be like, "No, I was over here." He'd be like, "You better not be. If I catch you on the corner, you're gonna get it."
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
but that's a good brother.
Yeah. I love my brother. I love my brother. My sisters too. My sisters are very supportive. So then when I started making music, from breakdancing, which was cool. Before it became everything, everybody started joining gangs. People were breakdancing, right? And I was a little kid. I was 6, and they're already teenagers, like I said. I used to be able to go into like the clubs. They used to bring me in through the back door because we knew Tony A, who was a DJ, a big time DJ, and his mom sold next to my mom at the swap meet. Oh. So him and my brother used to make a deal. Hey, bring little Tito to battle the grown-ups and let him beat him, and then take him home after the back door. So I would know when I would do good because I would go to Taco Bell.
Oh.
And when I didn't do good, I would get like scolded all the way home. Tomorrow you're gonna do this. You're gonna. My shoulders hurt. You know, like I'm throwing myself on concrete pretty much. You know. So yeah. It was cool. But then after that, I went into skateboarding, and my brother again was a big
influencer.
And it was triple. I hated school. I was terrible in school. My brother told me, "Bro, if you get a D," he asked me, "What do you like? What do you want to do?" My brother always tried to keep me busy, even though he had his own family. You know, we were in a dangerous neighborhood where it's like, all your cousins and all your family are joining gangs, and you're one right away from joining it too. You know, so my brother would try to pop in, and one day he told me, "What do you want to do? What do you like?" I said, "Well, I like skating, bro." And I had a little cheap swap meet skateboard. He told me, "Bro, if you get 1 D, I'll buy you a skateboard." A D. And guess what I got a D in?
What?
Just guess.
PE.
No, ESL.
Music. Oh my gosh.
And I'm American. You know, right? I got a D, and he bought me a skateboard. And then I became really good at skateboarding. I ended up getting sponsored, and I started winning competitions. And that was one thing that my brother always said, like, see, whatever you do, you're the best at. Like, you're good at it. There's no competition. Imagine if somebody could push you. Yeah. You know, and he had his kids already, so he would feel guilty that he couldn't be there. And you know, he had his own life, you know.
Right. You can't be mad at that.
And then I got in trouble. I robbed a 7-Eleven. Yeah, there's some bad sides too. I robbed a 7-Eleven. I got in trouble, and that was actually the first time that I ever felt like my brother and my sisters and them tell me that they love me. Because I don't know if you guys know that, but a lot of Latinos, they don't tell you that. You know? So I went to juvenile hall. I robbed the 7-Eleven 3 times in one night. They picked me up from the house.
The same one?
Yeah, the same one.
Oh my gosh.
The same one. I went back, and so I got in trouble. And then when I got released, my brother says, "Hey, bro," it was my mom and my sister Liz, my sister Alicia. They're there, and Los Padrinos in Downey. It don't exist no more. And my brother says, "Hey, go with me, bro. Get in the car with me." And I had never seen my brother. You know, my brother's always been this tough guy, macho guy. He hugs me and he says, "Hey, bro, this will never happen again. This is my fault."
Oh, wow.
He blamed himself for like not being there, even though he was married and had a family.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault. It was my fault. You know?
Right.
He didn't force me to go in there. You know. And he says, "I love you, bro. This will never happen again." And I looked at him and I was like, I had never heard that, like him talk to me like that. But before I went to jail, as you're going to court and all that, you know, you're going through the trial, right? And so I hadn't been I got an 8th grade education, Monica. Okay, that's how far I went to school. Okay, I stopped going to school because my mom was going to the swap meet 6 a.m. and I was pretending I was going to school.
Yeah.
And she thought I was at school. I was at home having a ditching party every day.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty much. You know? So when I get in trouble, the judge says, "Oh, you haven't been to school for 2 years. Oh, you think you're a cowboy, huh?" So he's like, "Oh, okay." So they were trying to say I had a gun, but I didn't have a gun because I went like this. So in the camera, they say, "You have a gun. You have a gun." I said, "I have no gun. I didn't have no gun. I just did that because I thought he was gonna grab me." Right. So then a bunch of charges drop because everything has a charge. So they're like, "All right, cool. You're gonna get this." Right. So as I'm going through the court and all that, the system, my public defender, pretender, whatever you want to call him, he's like, "You're gonna be okay. You seem to be doing good." My wife, who's 100 times smarter than me, was cheating for me in school. They were giving me all these packets and she was doing them for me. And they were like really silly questions like, "Is this a square box or is this a round box?" Like, "Yeah, they're both what you say." Check. Straight A's. And she was still doing it for me, So I was going back and they were proud. The public defender was like, "You're doing good. Your teachers are writing letters. You got a job with your brother. You're doing good." And then sentencing comes. He's like, "Hey, listen, I think you're just gonna get probation. You did everything that they asked you to do. You're the best kid I've ever represented. Like you've done everything I've told you to do and more."
Okay.
So he's like, "You're not going to jail. You're just gonna get probation." I'm out 15, 16, something like that, and so I'm still immature,
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't even know. I just know I'm going home. So I get up. He says, "Rodriguez, get up." And, they stand you up. And then when they sentence you, they make you turn around to handcuff you. So when they turned me around, I was facing my mom.
Oh.
And my mom started crying. And then right then and there, I knew, like, even though I had made her cry hundreds of times and be like, "Here, Mom, here's a high heel. Hit me 50 times. Hit me 60. I got to go outside." Ding, 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 ding.
It was like this was like the actual disappointment.
Yeah, I let her down. And
Yeah.
that crushed me. That crushed me. And then from right there and there, I said, "Nuh-uh. I'm not going to do this to my mom. I'm not going to do this to my sisters, my brother. They love me, and I'm over here acting up, So that was it.
So did you get sentenced?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they sent me to juvenile hall, and then that was it. That was a life-changing moment for me, though. I said, I'm not going to get in trouble no more. I don't want to break my mom's heart. Like, even though I had done all kind of stuff to her, this was different. I saw my mom cry. My mom would come visit me and bring me cookies and cry, and I would be like,
"Oh my
this is whack," And then it sucks. There's a lot of kids in there that don't have nobody, So that actually pushed me when COVID hit. We teamed up with Diamond and Big Sleeps, and we made 7,000 face masks to give out to the juvenile halls when COVID hit. Because I don't know if you remember the jails. They said the jails was
they were
getting slammed with COVID left and right. So I thought about that. I was like, dude, some kids had nobody.
Yeah.
I was lucky. My mom came, so we ended up giving them those masks. But yeah, that's kind of my childhood in a nutshell. So I went from breakdancing to skating, and then from skating, I started making music.
Okay.
I started making music in the neighborhood, and I started like selling beats for like $10, and I would be happy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like I'm making a beat, And one of my childhood best friends was Goldie Loke. He was in a group called the East Siders. It was Snoop Dogg and the East Siders, and they have a bunch of hits, right? And so I grew up with him since we were little babies. So one day I ran into him skateboarding. He said, "Hey, Nut, I'm rapping." I said, "Well, check this out, I'm making beats. So let's connect." So we connected, and then we started working together, and I started producing for him, and then he got signed to another little label that Snoop's brother was also signed to, and then that trickled down to Snoop Dogg, and that's how I ended up getting over there producing for them.
Oh, cool.
And that was a cool part of my life because it gave us some income, and we got to move from Long Beach, and we ended up moving to Downey. It took us away from. Long Beach is a trippy city, I mean, things can happen anywhere,
Right, yeah.
But, if the further you get away from violence and gang stuff, the better chances.
For your kids.
There you go. And that was one thing that me and my wife spoke about, is like, just because we made it, that doesn't mean our kids will make it, right?
Yes.
because school is crazy. People
Yes.
come in and influence your children, and next thing you know, they're smoking weed or whatever.
yes.
They're
And you don't have control over it.
Yeah, yeah, and you could lose them really quick.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that was one thing. My wife said, "We got to go." I listened to her. She was like, "We got to go. We got money coming in. Let's go. We got to go." So we moved to Downey, and we've been there ever since.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. What's like a beat that people would recognize?
I love it. I love it when the homies come through all blue. Tell me what you gonna do. I love,
That was you?
I did a little something on there. Yeah,
Oh,
I did a little something
cool.
on there. And then on the East Siders, I did a song called Doghouse.
Okay.
You guys, you would have to hear. You would have to. You guys would probably, if you heard it, you would recognize. I also did one called "Give It to 'Em." I did.
cool.
I'm gonna go home and I'll go listen to them.
Yeah. So on the first East Siders album, I had two of the better ones.
Okay.
And it was a trip how that happened too. It was like I had to sue Snoop Dogg. They didn't want to pay me. They didn't want to pay me. I was a Mexican kid, and it was like,
I hear that happens a lot.
Yeah, I had to
'cause
sue him.
You had to sue him?
I had to sue Snoop Dogg to get paid.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. They pretty much thought that I was just a dumb little Mexican kid, but I wasn't that. I was far from that, you know?
How old were you?
Maybe 19.
Oh, dang.
you were young.
Yeah,
super
maybe
young.
19, 20, yeah. Maybe 20, 21, 19. Yeah, 90, like 95, 96,
So I'm guessing you got paid.
Yeah, I got paid. I got paid. My very
good.
first music check was $298,000.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, is this right? I was like, is this $298 or what is this? I go into the bank.
Your hands all shaking?
No, I'm like, hey, I want $10,000 out of this. They're like, we can't give you $10,000. They're looking at me like, where you get this from? I'm like,
It has to clear first.
yeah. I'm like, well, trip out. I'm the hood sound, and I got it 2 weeks before Christmas. And I wanted to buy all my family
Gifts.
furniture.
Oh, wow.
That was like a plan in my head.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
See, you manifested it.
Yeah, it was like I wanted to do something for all of them,
Yeah.
And I ended up paying my sister's credit card off. She had $16,000 that was owed.
You've always been giving then. Like, it's like any little piece you have, you're like, here.
But that's why he keeps receiving it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. Like I got a lot of stories like that. Like one day my son was working at In-N-Out. He had his first job, and we were taking him because we're like, oh, this guy, we can't get him a car. We get him a car. If he don't last, then he's just gonna have a car and run around.
Right.
So we were taking him for like 2 months. And sometimes it sucks because he'd be like, Dad, I'm closing. Can you pick me up at 2:15 in the morning? And it's like, all right, dude, I'll pick you up. So I picked him up one day, and it was about 2 a.m. And he's like, thanks, Dad. And In-N-Out, they got this bubbly personality. He's like, hey, thanks, Dad. Thanks for picking me up. And in my head, I'm like, dude, relax. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, I'm all mad, And then, I say, he walks in the house, and I say a quick little prayer like this. I say, God, I said, this is serious now. My son's been taking the bus. He's been riding the skateboard to work, and we picking him up at night. And I said, man, we need a car.
Yeah.
Hello? Hey, what's up, Tito? Hey, this is Jeff Gibbs. I'm like, what's up, Jeff? Jeff was an engineer, mixer. He's mixed music for 50 Cent, Michael Jackson, you name it. But he was my buddy because he mixed for us too, for my band. And he's like, hey, bro, I was thinking about something, man. I want to give you my car.
Like that.
Like that. And I was like, yo.
He's listening.
I'm like, we're connected like that. Like, wow, that's amazing, So yeah, he gave us a Camaro, and I gave it to my son, and he ruined it.
Oh.
I forward to the end, but kids, But yeah, I think it's that. I think it's you reap what you sow.
100%.
You reap what you sow. If you're good to people, people will be good to you, and they don't even hesitate. Like I get paintings, and I'm not even asking.
Yeah.
Just people donate stuff to me. And want to just bless me, and they always tell me, yo, bro, I want to do something for you. You do something for so many people. What can I do? I'm like, nothing, bro. Then it's like, well, come over. I got something for you. I have a friend named Retina. You know who Retina is, right? And one day, it's about 12 o'clock at night, right? 12 o'clock at night. And I said, hey, I'm going to go help this street vendor because, we do a lot of advocating for street vendors. And
yes.
He hits me up. He's like, I want to get involved. I'm like, cool. Don't know what that means. He says, call me. So I call him and we're talking. And next you know, the conversation goes from like this to like, now I'm on speakerphone with him. And he's like, and tell me a little bit about where'd you grow up? Long Beach, what happened? Oh, this happened with my dad, my mom, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, hey, check your WhatsApp. And I'm like, all right. And then he sent me a painting. Yeah. He's like, I owe you this, OG. I owe you some give back. And I was like, this is 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, excuse me? At 1? You can't hit me up tomorrow for breakfast? Normal dude, So then he says, come over. So then I go in the room. I'm like, hey, Ren has hit me up to go to his house at 1 o'clock. What do you think? She's like,
what?
You want to go at 1 o'clock in the morning? I'm like, sure. So then I go and he gives me this amazing painting.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's like his creative time, right? Like, I hear a lot of stories. He's up late.
And it was pretty cool. He's like, hey, man, like being with you, like, I'm so happy.
Oh,
he told me that.
Good.
He's like, I'm so happy.
Energy is contagious.
He was like I feel comfortable. He's like, I don't have nothing to drink, but hold on. Then he goes, he gets some tap water. He's like, let me try it first. It's funny though. It's a funny story. He's like, let me try it first though. He's like, oh yeah, that's good. But yeah, he hooked me up, and I got I got other buddies. Guy gave me a Mercedes.
Wow.
You know him?
Who?
Saul.
Really?
Saul gave me his Mercedes.
Oh wow.
He told me, Tito, what are you doing? You driving in a van everywhere?
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. And he said, well, I have something for you.
Oh, he's such a good person.
Yeah, he's a good dude. And what do you got? And he was like, I got this. I was like, how much you want for it or what? He's like, no, just come over.
Yeah. He found us through you.
Yeah.
He's in escrow in a house right now.
Good.
Yeah. It's a really nice house too.
Yeah. So the Hood Santa has taken on like a whole nother thing. Like we get to do something cool almost every day. It's taken on that form.
What are you guys working on right now?
So right now we have Easter coming up. So we're raising baskets. It's called Baskets and Pancakes, and we have a local restaurant. It's called Loaded Cafe. You guys probably seen it. They're starting to pop up everywhere. It's almost like IHOP style, Denny style. And what we're having them do is they're going to come out and cook pancakes. And then we're going to give out baskets, and we're also doing something for the autistic community also.
Oh, that's really nice.
So we're raising baskets with sensory toys. For them.
Oh, that's nice.
So the goal is 1,500 baskets. We did last year. We did that. So we should be able to do it again. And the baskets are roughly $7 to about $12, $11. So a $10 donation gets a basket. And that's kind of what we like to share with the people. Say, hey, a $10 donation, you can buy a kid a basket,
Oh.
And
right now, someone wants to donate, where do they donate to?
They can donate on localheartsfoundation.org. Or if they want to get personal with me and hear more about what we're doing, they can just reach out to me at the Hood Santa.
On Instagram? Okay.
Yeah. That we do that, and then right from there, we go right back into fundraising for backpacks. And Monica did one last year. Mm-hmm. And that made me so happy.
Yeah, the San Bernardino one, right?
Mm-hmm.
That made me so happy because that's what we need. We need more people to get involved, Because, not to change the topic or nothing, but the brown community is forgotten.
Yeah.
We really are. We really are. And I don't want to sound like corny or whatever, but it's time for us to start talking about it because, the media only sees two colors. They see black and white, right? Mm-hmm. And the Asians are ahead of us, okay? Did you see yesterday how many Oscars they won? They swept almost all of it. Okay, so that means that they're pushing them to be in positions to win. Yeah. And what about us?
Yeah.
What about us?
Yeah. Well, you definitely motivated me to do that. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Like, why not give back to my hood where I grew up from, where I came from? And we got so many people that came out last minute, so many grateful families. And what was crazy is like there was some families that were scared to ask for more. And they had a whole bunch of kids, and they would be like, well, can I get some for them? Or some of them, even like the parents, like, can I get, because we had some shoes too. And so they were like, can I get some? And I'm like, yeah. Like,
that's
like,
for you guys.
who's going to.
See, that's the beauty of your guys' heart right there. That you want to help people.
Yeah, like
there's nothing to steal.
There's nothing to steal.
This is free.
Like,
yeah.
And I think in their minds they're thinking they're stealing, or they're thinking it's
or
bad,
think,
or like, oh, if I take some for your cousin and this and that, and I'm like,
too.
And I'm like, take it for your cousin, take it for
exactly.
Your,
that's what we do. Exactly.
Yeah, like I don't want them to feel like. If you need it, if you think someone needs it, take it, please, by all means. Like, why would somebody want to hoard 10 backpacks? It's not gonna do justice sitting in these boxes. So if you have somebody, take it.
That's amazing. That's good that you guys are doing that. And Lester told me that he felt great.
Yeah,
he said that you guys had a good time.
You know what was really cool is that when we did it, we had so many people that were like, I want to do the next one. I want to come with you. Well, next time, bring me.
That's
like,
how it goes.
We had, when we did it, you guys, right?
Yeah, it was just us.
Realty group, right?
So we actually had JOP from Fuerza Regida. He's from San Bernardino, and he told Lester, I want to do this. He goes, next time, please tell me, and I was like, imagine the impact he can make. And that's his city, and I'm like, and it started from like little me, because I was motivated, somebody else motivated me, which was you, and then it's like it could turn into this whole amazing thing, and I don't know, it felt really good.
It's amazing. Really it's amazing.
But I think at the end of the day, you do this all the time. You do this all year round. Like, we did that one event, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a lot of work. It's hard.
Yeah, you definitely need a team.
It's a lot of work. And I was like, I don't know how, I'm like, babe, I don't know how Tito does it. But because like, it's easy to donate. The hard part is actually like putting it together,
putting in the work.
And getting it done. And like, there's these big corporations and big companies that do it, but again, like, they have a whole team. They're getting paid $25 an hour or whatever, to get it done, where part of your donations are going to, which is cool. That's totally fine. If that's what it takes to make it happen, to give a cancer patient, some toys, then that's totally cool. But the fact that you do it, you put it all together, like, yes, you have a lot of connections, which is amazing, which I feel like is why you were put on this earth, right? Because you made a whole bunch of connections, and now you're not that you're using them, but they're coming to you, like, saying like, hey, and now you're thinking like, oh shoot, this is why I'm here.
Right.
This is why.
That's my purpose.
This is my purpose. Like, I was supposed to take this journey and be on this journey so that at the end, like, I can give, and then that makes you happy. That makes
it does. It's amazing. And it is my purpose, because I'll go back to music. So, when I was making music, I was making money, and as a man, you're like, oh, I found my purpose. I got a studio, I'm making money. And when I met that kid that said, hey, you're the Hood Santa, I instantly knew that that's what I was supposed to be doing. And I walked away from music. I walked away that day. I was like, I'm done with music. I'm gonna help kids.
Did you think that maybe you saw yourself in him?
You know what? I don't know what it was, but I just thought, like, man, there's a lot of kids like me. And now I made all these connections, and now they're giving me stuff. How do I get them to give it to the people that really need it? Right? So I got a funny story. I actually hit up Quicksilver, and I said, hey, I got this idea, because the owner of Quicksilver, his son had my band's logo tattooed on him.
Oh, wow.
So I was in a band called The Pricks, and they used to play our music on K-Rock. And the name is crazy, but the music was positive, so it was a silly name.
Yeah.
So we had Tommy Hilfiger's son has Pricks tattooed on the side of his head. Yeah. So we had a bunch of connections in that little world. So I hit up Quicksilver. I said, hey, this was the very beginning. I said, hey, I want to go out and I want to help kids and I want to do something cool. And they were like, all right, come on in. They were like, what happens if you get ran over? And I was like, excuse me? You want to kill me? I just want to help people, But it goes back to the connection part, It was like, okay, that connection wasn't for me. You know what I mean? And that's going to happen. So then I recircled, started hitting my other buddies. And there was a lot of people like me that grew up with nothing. Now they want to do something. That's where the Nick Diamonds come in. And, the Manny Pacquiao's, right? These people come from nothing. we have tons. Yeah, the singers, right?
Well, on that note, we wanted to donate on behalf of the Real Tea podcast.
Wow, look at you!
And on behalf of Singer Realty Group and the Singer family. So we know you're having the pancakes and what is it? Baskets. Yeah, the basket for Easter. So Lester was like, "Hey, let's do this and hopefully motivate other people." Because you know us, we're very private. Half the time we're not posting. We're not. We're just like, here, Tito, handle it.
Lester
like,
gets mad when I tag him. He's like, don't tag me.
But this is for you
Thank
guys.
you.
And he was like
5Gs.
Yes.
What?
Yes. And
tell Lester I said thank you.
No, for sure. And what we
hold on, let me cross the bottom out real quick.
There you go.
Woo! God bless you guys. And hold on, may the Lord multiply, okay?
Thank you.
Because we said that, right? You reap what you sow, right?
Exactly.
And may God continue to give you guys tenfold.
Yeah.
And may God continue to bless your kids, your family, your marriage, your businesses, your friends, your walk. You have traveling mercies, and that you continue to do what you love. Okay.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. But one thing was, I told Lester, I was like, "Are you sure we should do this on camera?" And he goes, "Look, it's not to show off. Yeah. It's not to try to impress." Yeah. He said, "You have this podcast." He said, "We have to get the word out. We have to motivate people. We have to show people that there's good, trustworthy people out there that maybe you don't have money, but we all know, Tito, you could use a lot of help."
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to donate your time, if you want to come out and sponsor one of the, if you have, any type of toys, clothing brand, shoes, like everything, like we do everything, and mostly for kids, mostly to help kids. So we want to do this publicly so that, we can motivate others to donate their money, donate their time, whatever you can offer. You do this all year round.
Right.
You're having, so like you mentioned, you're having the Easter one. And then you said, after that, you already know what you're doing next. Like, hey, we have this, we have that. Then it's school, back to school. Like, we're doing backpacks. So you already have like all these events.
Have programs.
Right. Set up that people can donate to and can help out, even with their, more than anything, with your time. Like if you have the time to come out and do it, because that's the hardest part, to be honest.
We've mastered the give back, right? Like we got the Easter, we got the back to school. We got turkey. Turkeys is the hardest one.
Yes.
Because you need money. You need money. It's not like getting toys. People donate toys. Backpacks, people donate back. You need money because you need a freezer.
Right.
If you buy 1,000 turkeys, where are you going to freeze, right? And also get them delivered. So it's a little bit of a money fundraiser. Then we got the toys. Toys is cool. We mastered all that, but we're trying to now give these kids life skills. We're trying to find a facility, okay? So if you run into something, or if you know somebody that might have a place where we can teach kids life skills, financial literacy. We're trying to teach kids how to work on cars. We're trying to implement a plumbing program, and we're gonna, so you bring in these kids, at-risk kids, or just kids that are interested in a trade, and you give them the basics, the fundamentals, right? The simple stuff. And I'm an example of that. I was a plumber too. So before I got into music, I told you I hated school. My brother said, "You don't like school? Well, you need to work. You're not just going to be running around." So he took me to work, and now I'm in a position I can fix anything. If this mic breaks, I can pull it apart and be like, "Oh, this wire." If this table breaks, I can put it back together because my brother taught me how to be mechanical, work with my hands, and so those things are things that we need to teach our youth.
Yeah, for sure.
So. How many kids don't even know how to change a tire?
Yeah.
Right? One day, I'll share a story. One day I was in Downey. I was eating a sandwich from Philly's Best, and I seen five boys sitting in a car, okay? And they keep getting out. I'm looking at them from a distance, though. I'm eating. I'm just, like, watching them, and they're getting out, and they keep looking around the car, and I'm like, it's a nice car, but what's going on? Is it got, like, gold rims or something that I can't see? And out of nowhere, a tow truck pulls up, and he changes the tire, and I'm like, yo.
It was 5 of you.
Exactly. I was like, it was 5 teenage boys. None of them knew how to change a tire.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, we need to we need to start teaching all these kind of things. And so that's something that we're trying to do. We're trying to create programs because, you know, there's nothing like giving kids tools because, you know, you can give them shoes and it's temporary fixes, right? But if you teach them how to work with their hands, life skills, you teach them how to, do a tune-up or change a tire or change brakes or install.
You'll never be broke.
My brother told me that. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Sorry.
You took the words right out of my brother told me.
Hey, babe, we need to show Max how to change the tire.
There you go. There you go. My brother told me, bro, if you learn how to work with your hands, you'll never starve. You'll never be broke. 100%. And I took that to heart. So that's the next big thing for us. And so say a prayer for us, you know, when you can, that something pops up for us.
How can people find you?
You can get to me on Instagram at the Hood Santa. I answer to everybody. I'm the guy that I make sure everybody knows there's somebody, you know. If people think I'm nuts that I answer everybody, you know, I'm like, dude. People are like, I can't believe you're answering. I'm like, wait, like, no, you're somebody to me. You know, you're saying hello.
You're taking time out of your day.
And if you want to find out more about what we do, you can go on the website. It's localheartsfoundation.org. And our mission statement's on there. And if people want to donate, there's a donate button on there. I mean, if you guys ever want to donate your time, your money, you know, it's going to a great person that is going to help many, 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 many families. If you are a company and you need tax write-offs, hey, we need a facility to help all of these kids out so that they can, you know, learn how to change a tire and do an oil change. I actually took auto shop in high school. Good for you.
I can change a tire and do an oil change if I had to.
Yeah, that's great. That's good.
I just want to add to that really quick that no donation is too small. So if you want to donate a number of baskets, you want to donate $20, you want to donate $100, whatever it is, no donation is too small. So.
And just reach out to Tito. There's been a lot of instances where even if there's been times where we're like, hey, Tito, like this family needs help. What can we do, right? So like and if you're wanting to help a specific family, but you don't know how, like reach out to Tito. Hey, I know of this family. I can help with this, and that. Tito will make it happen if you don't have the time or if you don't have the resources.
Yeah, you guys, how many families have you guys helped like that?
A lot.
I know, a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
It's, you know,
it's funny. It's funny how. I'm going to say something about Lester. Lester is the one-line king. That's what I call him. He'll call me and be like, hey, what are we going to do for Father's Day? I'm like, I don't know. You want to buy some cologne? He's like, cologne? He's like, no, the moms get purses. Hold on. And then,
he did post that this last time.
Then he'll hang up. Hold on. Let me finish. Then he'll hang up. And then he'll be like, I got it. We're buying tires. I'll call you back. Tires? But what I was getting at is Lester has a huge heart.
He does.
You know, because, tires are expensive.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. We'll buy as many as we want, as many as we can. I'm like,
because the mom's got Michael Kors.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was
cool.
Really cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
We did something that would, I think probably to this date is my favorite thing. That was it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They were shocked, huh?
Yeah, they were so happy. We gave some, so Monica and Lester bought a whole bunch, like 25 Michael Kors purses. And then we did maybe like 10 street vendors. They're out selling, fruta and elotes or whatever. And then there was one, she had just lost her son to fentanyl. Did you see that one?
I don't think so. No, I didn't.
Are you sure? I think you guys saw it because Lester called me almost crying, if I remember right.
Well, she didn't say she lost him to fentanyl.
Yeah,
she did?
So they reached out and they said, their daughter said, hey, my mom, we just lost our baby brother to fentanyl, and it'd be really good if like we can cheer my mom up. And I was like, no brainer.
Yeah, of course.
I said, let's get her a purse. So I went back and I traded in 2 of those purses for like a big one. Because the guy ended up being he was like, hey, Hujana, I'm watching you, and that's cool, what you're doing.
Aww.
So he became really nice, I said, hey, dude, I got this situation. So anyhow, we got her a really nice one, and so I set it up with the daughter. I'm at Stonewood Mall, don't tell them, tell me where you're going to park, I'll walk up. So I walk up, I'm like, hey, are you, I don't remember her name, sorry, let's call her Liz. Hey, are you Liz? She's like, yes, who are you? I said, well, I'm Tito, No, I didn't say that. And her husband was looking at me like, like, how do you know my wife? Like, excuse me, you know? Yeah. And I said, oh, you must be Pops. Yeah, and he was like, yeah. And then the daughter was in the back recording. And then I said, well, you know, it's Mother's Day. And I wanted to give you something. Somebody told me to do something cool for you. And inside I wrote a note in her son's name. I said, hey, Mom, I love you. Happy Mother's Day. You know, something like I'll see you in heaven or something, right? And so we gave it to her, and that was probably the one that touched me the most, you know. You know, and so yeah, that was cool. But that was thanks to you guys. Yeah. You know, that was.
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, and it was cool. So then we became friends, and now I send them. We give them tickets to the Dodger game and stuff like that.
Oh, that's nice.
And she's like, thanks, mijo. And then the dad was like, Cabron, you're making me cry, you know, because he didn't know what was coming, you know.
Yeah.
I said, hey, it's all good, you know. I said, Happy Mother's Day. But that one was, that's probably, you know, it's tough too, you know, because, you know, you could easily get sad too.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that happens sometimes where I have to catch myself. Remember the little cancer girl that you guys helped out in Long Beach? That one was also hard because, you know, you walk in there with this idea, right, of like
how it's all going to play out.
Yeah, hey, what's up? You know, I'm trying to be energetic and trying to be upbeat. And then you see this baby, reality. You know, baby going bald, right? And you're like, how could this be? You know, they're 10, 12, 13, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And then the reality of it starts hitting in, and then you got to hey, it's going to be okay. Look, we got you a TV. And then you're like, these are things. They don't
give a.
Yeah, you know, but it's like it's.
Yeah.
It's both because you show them that people do love them. True. And that people are caring for them. So the dad hit me back. He's like, hey man, thank you, Tito. You know, she hadn't talked in 3-4 days. Now I can't get her to shut up. So and that was cool.
That's good.
You know?
Yeah.
That's cool. So we're helping this other little kid named Damien. I'm sure you guys seen him, the little 10-year-old. And we're taking him to the Galaxy game.
Oh, good.
I got introduced to him by the Galaxy. The guy that donates tickets to us, I guess he took a liking to him because the kid is so sweet. So I said, hey, Damien. Again, I'm all hyped up. What do you want, bro? You want shoes? You know, I'm trying to get them inspired. But, you know, sometimes the medicine drains them.
Of course.
So they're you know, kind of down. I said, what do you want? Right? This is right when he said, can you just pray for me?
Oh my God.
And I was like, why does this happen? Like, these are the people that we need on the planet. Mm-hmm. Good people. Why, you know? And then I got to snap back into why I'm here to make them happy, you know? And I was like, oh, I'm doing everything for this kid. This kid didn't want nothing but prayers, right?
That's crazy.
Right? It's like most kids, like, can I get a baseball bat, a phone? Like, you just got an iPad 27. You know, you're the only one with it. Like,
you're the only one with it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and sometimes it does get to me because I am a human and I do feel stuff. And but I also got to remember that that's not my part. My part is to try to uplift and help. Yeah. So I got to turn that switch on, boom, and be that person. You know. Well, it's kind of like this. If I could give you guys some advice, like on this. Mm-hmm. So when I was in a band, right, all my bandmates would be funny. We'd be telling jokes, and as soon as somebody walked in with a camera, they'd be like mummies. They'd be like, and I would tell them, and then they would get mad at me because they would get mad at me because I'm still the same person. Yeah. And at our shows, the sponsors would come and they would give me boxes of stuff. Here, Tito, here's some shoes, here's some watches, here's some hats, bro. Because I'd be up there, just going spazzing out, being a character.
Right.
So I would tell them, hey, you guys got it wrong. Mm-hmm. The time to be a maniac and to be funny is when they hit record, buddy. Yeah. you know. So remember that. Just a little tip, right? A lot of people don't do that. So I've had a good life.
Thank you, Tito.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for your stories. Thank you for everything that you do for everybody. And
thank you.
I don't think I don't know. I know God has big plans for you. Personally, like you yourself, because you impact so many people that I know
earned your seat in heaven.
Yeah, that for sure. But I know that there's even an even bigger plan for you.
Thank you.
That you probably don't even know yet.
Yeah, and God's plans are not our plans.
Right. Yeah. But I really want to thank you for all the work that you do, all the time that you put in. We know that, you guys live a very simple life. You guys are not materialistic, and anything you guys get, you guys always want to give, and that's, I think, what really makes you and that really shows your character. And I just want to thank you, and a lot of people out there that I'm sure are thinking the same thing, that know you personally. Like, you're such a humble and good person.
Thank you
and your wife, you guys are such great people, because you guys dedicate your lives to this.
Thank you so
much. And it means a lot. It means
Ditto.
a lot, because
you guys do a lot too.
But this is hard work. You're doing the hard work.
Doing the footwork.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And, just keep doing it. Keep doing it, because people are watching.
Yeah.
And you motivate tons of people, whether or not you see it. I'm sure you don't see it a lot of the time, but everyone's watching, and you're motivating a lot of people. A lot. And I know there's something bigger. Like, I know there's a much bigger picture where you're going to be, like, an important piece of that picture, and it's just a matter of time.
I appreciate that.
I see that for sure.
Thank you so much.
But thank you for being on the show.
Yeah.
And don't forget to follow the Hood Santa on Instagram.
Yes.
Don't forget to follow the Real Tea podcast.
Yes.
And big shout out to Shoot a House for coming through for us. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys, and we hope everyone enjoyed this episode, the Hood Santa. Thank you so much.
God bless you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.